The Galt Museum and Archives has been active since 1966, and I think since that time it has gone through a number of different, roles in the community. I think primarily it's anchored in cultural and artifact preservation, it's the classic definition of a museum, and archives. So I think, like, from a museum perspective, if you look around you, you see a lot of these, symbols of what Lethbridge has been over time. We're standing in the main exhibition space, which showcases the bridge and a facade of the old Bo-on-Tong building in Chinatown, among many other locally relevant symbols of what Lethbridge has been over the last approximately 150 years that it's been here. Beyond that, the Galt Museum also showcases many different exhibitions throughout the year. We have 3 different viewing spaces for exhibitions. One in the main exhibition space here. There's one out in the hallway. There's also one down in archives on that level. So we also do approximately 6 rotating exhibitions per year. The Galt Museum and Archives has a number of different roles in the community in terms of representing local culture and preserving local culture. I'll start with archives. The archives part of the Galt Museum is primarily responsible for keeping track of documentation and photographs from throughout history of Lethbridge. All of these items are donated to the Galt or sourced by our archives staff, intentionally with keeping with the idea of the Galt telling locally relevant stories about people, about things, about places, and all of those documents and artifacts are available for the public to go down and view. You can book with the archivists to browse the selection, get a tour of archives, and also seek out particular information if you're trying to understand certain things about our community, or get more information about certain events that have happened in the past. Archives is a really great place to start. The Galt Hospital was built in the late 1800s and operated into the 60s. It was treated as a teaching school for young nurses completing the program, and also was utilized as a treatment space for surgeries, for births, and those things were happening all the way up into the 1960s when our main regional hospital opened, and basically was just a larger facility. So the Galt Hospital, as we knew it, was able to close down at that point in time, which is when the official start of the Galt Museum began. I would say yes, the Galt Museum has some very interesting artifacts of Lethbridge's history in its collection. We also have an off-site collection which houses pieces that are way beyond the size of what our basement collections can accommodate. In particular, for example, we have a car that was retrofit with railroad wheels that the original CPR back in the 30s, the CPR superintendent would have traveled between towns. So we actually have that car in our collections. It's a huge, large, weird, fun piece to have, a piece of history, piece of Lethbridge's history that we have in there. And aside from that, our collections in the basement has a lot of really, really interesting and unique items. I would encourage the public to go down and browse those items because the list is vast and it is really interesting. The Galt offers a number of different school programs for kids aged 7 to 17, basically all throughout their school career, they're able to come down to the Galt and explore our exhibit. We also have Blackfoot learning and literacy courses taught by Blackfoot elders. So children are able to basically gather and have Blackfoot stories told to them, or and ask questions in kind of a safe and accommodating space, you know? People should come and visit the Galt Museum for 3 reasons. 1, our exhibits are fantastic. 2, the prairie garden outside is gorgeous and you should definitely walk around it. And 3, our gift shop is absolutely one of the best in Southern Alberta. One of the unique things that the Galt Museum does is focus on preservation of Blackfoot culture. And we do that through our exhibitions and storytelling with elders, and as well with language keeping. And I think if you were coming through the area and you would only expect to see stuff that's from a colonial type history, you'd be very surprised that the Galt puts a lot of energy into telling the stories of the Blackfoot people.